I just want to like test your ability to have a conversation with like an actual person, like a real human being, like me, like and see if you can actually just like hang as an equal, like if I said words, would you understand them? And like if I made a joke, would you be able to even like pull that out of the ether? It's crazy. Like I hope you don't make any. I hope he doesn't make any videos about like whether or not people should have to take an intelligence test before voting, because my man, my dude, my son of Christ, holy shit, man, that's gnarly. Okay, so we're going to get into one of my most interesting new people. This is going to be a completely broken fucking segment, more than likely. We're going to be watching a Whatifalthist video. Whatifalthist is I don't think I'm supposed to say that word either, but it starts with an S and sounds like burger. He talks funny, and he makes really dumb points. But sometimes he's pretty funny to pop off of. And so we're going to see exactly what the vibe is with him in this episode. I just realized the reason I keep adjusting my camera is because it's too high or too low at this level and too high at the other one. I'm gonna have to change this height up a little bit. Okay, this is about the coming incel revolution. In my opinion, incels are already talked out. I thought we were past that, like where everyone's just like. It rose out of cringe to be like, we're talking about the plight of the modern American male, and then the modern American male actually started getting laid because they weren't 12 anymore, and then they were like, yeah, I don't ever want to be called an incel again. I would kind of rather fucking put a bullet in my head than ever be a part of that group. But here we go. And shout out a revolution fought by people that can't even fuck. I'm just going to guess it's a series of suicide bombings at best.
This topic is one of the most taboo in all of society. Most people won't discuss it or even think about it since they don't want to deal with the immense social shaming that.
Is it that he has a fat tongue? It seems like he doesn't like articulate anything with the front of his tongue. He always says everything like this. It's almost like a John Benjamin character. I have John Benjamin. John Benjamin. Hey, John Benjamin wanted to do this. He did a pretty good job of a Whatifalthist.
Comes from it. As a person who studies history, you tend to see that we're incredibly ruthless to previous eras of history. That being said, every era of history thinks they're in the right, and they always do something wrong in a major
I'm sorry, this fabulous bitch, though. I don't even know what kind of... This is definitely... this is definitely, like, ended in a massacre. But I gotta tell you, this right here, he's serving. Somebody had their friend go out and they did the whole proportion. This is one of the best drawings of a political cartoon I've ever seen in my life. That is so well done. I know this is from history. This is probably about the fucking rape of Africa, but my man is out here looking like just like this is like top 10 pages in fucking Shonen Jump this week, and this is just one of them. This is straight the fuck out of Golden Kamuy. To the point where if I found out that Golden Kamuy hadn't actually like referenced this at some point, I would be stunned. Because my man said, bitch. This dude is saying bitch with every vowel between the fucking B and the T. Bitch. Bitch. God damn, bro. You ain't even served. My man's not even drag, and he's feeling it. This is top 3. There's got to be one day where somebody does a RuPaul's Drag Race fucking lip sync for your life, and they just don't move, and they just do this, and they just stare at Ross Matthews until he finally fucking explodes. Look, I don't know. Carson Kressley just being always completely better and more relatable than Ross Matthews. I don't know what you were doing, but I just want you to know I was there for it. He didn't even move, but I was moved. I was going to say that. I was going to say something clever too. I wrote it down. I had a PA wrote it down. I had an assistant PA write it down before. Thank you, Ross. I'm sure it's going to be incredible. Doc, I am sub for 2 months. Welcome back, Doc.
way. Thus, it goes without saying that we're doing the same thing since every society does so. The human mind projects, and thus a society which hates its ancestors really hates itself. That being said, someone needs to discuss
you better
the
be
elephant in the
Cornella.
room. As my father
Say
said,
some weird
growing up to
Norwegian
me,
shit.
if no
so
one in the room is doing the right thing, that makes it your duty. I sincerely believe that the issues in modern dating are so horrible that they will cause a revolution in the next few years. For people new to my channel, that may sound insane, but I believe it unironically. I've made several videos talking about why I believe America, and
Thanks, Whatifalthist, for answering the question on everyone's mind immediately off rip. What a fucking professional. Voshka never. Whatifalthist just said, for people new to my channel, that might sound insane, but it is my real thoughts. Like, okay. He stopped in their tracks 80% of all the conversations that could be had about this and just said, I believe all of this. If you're new here and this sounds crazy, I know that because I just expect that it would. Also, I believe all of it. Like, okay, that answers all of my questions. Thank you.
I would say the Western world in general is on the verge of what I've called at different points a civil war, revolution, or right-wing backlash. People are not rational. From studies, we've found that 90% of the population just rationalizes whatever their emotional state is. Thus,
source. You can't even do the full, like, you can't even do the full, like, that's a nice fact, Senator, but do you want to back it up with a source? My source is I made it the fuck up. Can't even do that. It's just, many people are saying.
Thus, when you're seeing someone say something, in most cases, it's just a rationalization of what's inside their self-interest to believe. This is obviously true for the left in general today, which has philosophically literally said that logical consistency is white male oppression, and whoever is in power gets to determine what's true.
What? They argue for the gender relativism, why is this article in there? There are cultural stereotypes around gender. That makes them a cultural construct. This is not how you do points. Cultural constructs are things we invented. Thus, since we invented it, we can change it at will. Thus, reality doesn't exist. This is not... Whatifalthist, this is just not how you construct a syllogism. That is... This is actually, this is a textbook fallacy. I can't remember which one it is, but they're just adding your justification for one of your premises, adding the justification to a premise inside of the syllogistic construct makes it a fallacy, like off rip. We also have too many. We have too many premises to achieve this. You have too many subjective internals, like to achieve the final thing. There's just too much shit going on. Also, I don't even know how these are fucking connected. There are cultural stereotypes around gender. Needs another point, right? Because this is not a specific statement. This is a general statement. Or this is all supposed to be the same sentence. But this is also mixed. So like this is also, there's also two conclusions within this argument. So like the argument can't have two conclusions. You fucking idiot. Thus, since we invented it, we can change it at will. That's just a whole different. That is a whole different summation from something else. Also, anything that we invent, we can't necessarily change at will, right? Like, where is your justification for that? If it's an absolute statement that you're making, all I have to do is provide a single counter statement, and so it's no longer absolute. So you have to reformulate your entire fucking hypothesis here. So like, we invented the concept of steel, right? We can't change the concept of steel. We can't change steel. We invented steel. You didn't even say concept, right? So that's not even there. Since we invented it, we can change it at will. We invented steel. We cannot change steel at will. It requires a lot of additional things. I mean, I know that's like, it's pedantry, but not really, because we're just talking about the phrasing of an argument, which is important to constructing the argument. And so this is gibberish. Also, why didn't you just put commas over here too? Like, it seems like you half understand how grammar works, but like that's crazy. Also, shout out all the Whatifalthist fanboys. This is me literally answering the argument. The argument is a fallacy on its face. I can't ever remember all of the Greek names of the traditional fallacies, but I assure you it is one.
In general, a good way to determine if someone is actually making an argument or rationalizing is based on if they use supporting evidence in their claim. If they don't actually have an argument against you, they don't follow a causal chain of logic or have blatant inconsistencies in their argument. We've found through studies where John
double thus is hilarious to me for some reason, because like, even if you, it's such a bad vibe, because even if you don't understand anything about like traditional syllogisms and all the Greek logic and all that sort of shit, I think on the outside you can say like, well, how did you come to two? You shouldn't be coming to two conclusions. I feel like makes sense to everybody. I don't know how there's multiple thuses in that chain.
And I believe him to be one of the best thinkers of our time.
The one doesn't have anything to do with any of the other previous statements. It just reiterates one of the like concepts inside of it, but then it doesn't have any supporting. It just presumes its own correctness, which is fucking awesome.
Has done a tremendous amount of research on human nature, and everything I've said in the previous paragraph is from his work. He's also found that it's very hard to be rational about things.
As a math student, this proof is badly constructed.
We tend to be decently good at analyzing the reality of problems of which we don't have a personal stake. But once you get closer, people can become intensely...
Are you going to be spell checking all of his slides? No, I won't spell check them all, but like just the grammar there is like, it's funny because he had it right one point and then just right next to it he had it wrong. It's just hilarious to me. Like that he was trying to get that slide out so quick. He fucking did it right one time and wrong the next.
As their thoughts and words become excuses for their self-interest. As a tangent, one of the things which annoys me is that people appeal to authenticity, or this emotionally feels right, thus it's moral and good. As if
that's not those are two different things. Authenticity and like a feeling of correctness are two different things. You can say one informs the other, but that's two different articulations. Like authenticity and, I don't know, a belief in your own sense of reality are two different things. Because authenticity is often something, while people do get precluded, I had to go, authenticity was a major subject of my semiotics discourse when I was in college. But authenticity can be objectively proven in certain respects as being like proving literally that something is like a genuine article, you know, like when it comes to like card collecting and stuff, or just proving that somebody is authentically who they say they are by like checking their ID. Whereas there's different deeper senses of authenticity for how like somebody finds value in something, which I think he's trying to articulate. But those are different concepts. You can't use one to like define the other, because authenticity is in its own right. Authenticity is the presence of the state of being authentic. Authentic means something is the genuine article of what it is. You know what I mean? It really is the thing it is. I don't feel like I shouldn't have to. Authenticity is one of those core definitions that is so simplistic that it almost becomes circular, because it's an almost an elemental concept. You know what I mean? But like that's that. But somebody's perception of the world relative to authenticity is a completely different concept. They're not correlated. They're correlated, but they're not relying on each other. You know what I mean? Like they're not. One does not necessitate the other, like by virtue.
Emotions are an arbiter of underlying goodness or truth. That being said, your emotions are a mammal.
That's a crazy. This is the Whatifalthist. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. I have to pause every 2 seconds. You just made a point that required a clarification, but you didn't just delete the point or amend it. You just put in a card while you're talking about the thing that you're talking about. You mad fuck. You demon. You genius. To clarify, I like emotions. Bro, is Vosh ghostwriting for you? The most self-diagnostic sentence or statement I've ever seen for somebody that's clearly on the spectrum is, to clarify, I like emotions, and I think it's incredibly important to be in tune with them and understand them. Beep boop, boop boop, beep boop. My man, you could have just said fuck this entire slide and just said, I wish people were more like trains, and everyone would have still assumed the same things about you. They would have just gotten to the same conclusion. I wish people were more like trains. That being said, if they become the final arbiter, life will fall apart due to their irrationality and contradictory nature. I don't know who is making the argument that you're arguing against at all. I know it's like, goes without saying, like everything that Whatifalthist says is all in his head, but what are you fucking talking about? What in the fuck? What are you arguing against? What point are you making? Why do you think that this just goes without saying and requires no additional like input? And why did you just put it in the middle of you talking about fucking like the same subject? So I need to pause and read your addendum, which is also comically fucking weird. Oh my god, dude. The authenticity of my Black Lotus has no bearing on me living an authentic life. Fuck it. That statement makes sense in this that statement can make sense in the context of this conversation, and is also such a fucking non sequitur. Is like just proof positive that Whatifalthist is like the most cracked person ever. This is just undiagnosed like ADHD, bipolar, some sort of spectrum disorder. All of this can be fixed or mitigated to some degree with like a lithium prescription or something. Because your brain just doesn't work, man. That's really what it is. Your brain is just sparking. There's crossed wires, split wires. There's a mouse chewing through little bits of you right now. It's only going to get worse when you get older too, because like that's when your faculties start to go, and you are not working on your neuroelasticity, my man. This is not the mark of somebody who problem solves. I like emotions, and I think it's incredibly important to be in tune with them. But if you're in tune and with and understand your emotions, none of the second part will get you. Like, I can be mad and not be so upset that I make bad decisions because I'm in tune with my anger. So like, this is one of those things where it's like, why would you even say this if it's not if the first part is true, you don't need to say the second part. Like, this is like a little kid's, this is such a childish, weird, not understanding anything about the world like statement that it's kind of interesting you put it on screen, and I just love it.
Brain manifestation of your genetic self-interest. Your emotions are a lower resolution, more primal version of logic, which involves getting what you want. You'll find that people who are guided by their emotions are intensely selfish, confusingly often being selfless as a form of selfishness, as a way for emotional stability.
This is cracked. An example of selflessness is donating to a popular charity. Oh god, don't you guys make me. I'm just doing the thing where I let my brain fucking recognize patterns and put the words together without checking if it actually helps anyone and posting it on social media. What? Why? How is that selfish? Why is that selfish? It just seems like negligent. Isn't that just negligent or unconcerned? I don't know how it's selfish. I don't know how it's selfless. Because you can't. These are contradictory terms. And the fact that you're trying to reconcile contradictory terms by just ignoring the presence of one of them, but like still sticking it in the sentence is crazy. Because this is just, it's just a different thing. You're just being negligent. You're just not doing research. Not doing research is not selfishness. This is a stupid thing to say. Alternately, having the correct political views. Why did you put it? You just write this like a fucking maroon, bro. Alternatively, having the correct political views, which indirectly benefits your faction but appears virtuous. These both exist as forms of virtue signaling inside your social network. What? How is this? What are you alternate from? Alternately, having the correct political views, which indirectly benefits your faction but appears virtuous. First off, everyone's what? Having a political view that benefits you and is also virtuous, that is not a zero-sum game. Are you inferring that all political views must be inherently detrimental to the self? They must be inherently self-detrimental to be virtuous? Like, are you fucking on drugs? Like, I get it. I know why everyone says he's a cokehead, because this is crazy. There's no alternative provided, by the way. This is not an alternative to this. Alternative means different, you know, which is what alternately is part of. These both exist as forms of virtue signaling inside your social network. But also, this isn't virtue signaling, because there's no signal. Just donating. You described a situation where somebody donated to a charity that they didn't research, and then posted it on social media. Okay, my bad. Okay, so that is actually signaling. Yeah, okay, fair. This is not virtue signaling. With having the correct political views, okay. I mean, do you mean like espousing? So you just write like a fucking dipshit. You're just so bad at it. So what you're trying to say here is espousing political views that benefit you. Well, I mean, you're still wrong. This is just an inherently wrong thing, because you would have to write it as espousing political views that seem to help others but only actually help you in order to appear virtuous, is what you're trying to say. But you are like a 4-year-old here. So this is also just selfishness. I let this rule the world and didn't even read this second fucking paragraph, this second piece right here the right way. This is just cracked. Also, still, it's not alternately. It's not. You would say like additionally, right? Not alternately. Because it's not different. You can say or, because that's like, or works there, or additionally, or even. Maybe alternately can work. I don't know. You're fucking so bad at writing that like certain decisions that you make are correct, but not in the greater context of the sentence that you make. So like it could work, but then when you just add anything else past the one thing that you did that's right, it makes everything else wrong. It kind of does go into the entire like mentality of who you are as a person in a fascinating way. So like you're correct about a thing, but you're like you can observe singular facts, but your ability to connect them to other facts is completely fucking non-existent. It's a little fascinating. This is, I got like, are you good at puzzles? That's a question. Like, could you? I want to talk to Whatifalthist. Can you do analogies? Like literally, are you capable of them? I feel like I could diagnose this guy. I bet he can't do analogies. Because he's, well, first off, just not doing any of them. These are not analogous things. And he's really bad at writing. But like holding on to metaphor, like I like, could you like do assumptions of like multiple things being true at the same time and trying to figure out what would happen in each direction, like hypotheticals?
Or to look better socially. The reason I'm going through all of this is that this is the topic our society is capable of handling the least rationally.
It didn't take long. We got 5 minutes in. We got a white person and a black person arguing for no apparent reason.
I'll see most people just break down into complete emotion about this subject. People very quickly lose their ability to be objective. I believe this is true, as mating is probably the most important thing in human life. Thus, we get very wrapped up in it. You will probably have a lot of emotions watching this video, and that's normal. But you need to take a deep...
Jesus Christ! Thank you. Alternatively is correct. I was brain blown because it's not alternate. Alternatively. Did he say that, or did he say alternately? You fucking assholes. Doc and everyone else that got me to start fucking checking the fucking... actually, like, deeply reading instead of just kind of... You have me fucked up, because his all of his shit is cracked, dude. One of the worst intellectual pits people fall into... Why can't you just say one of the worst intellectual pitfalls? Is they're not actually saying what they're saying. This is a dog whistle for something far worse. This does happen in the real world, but it establishes a precedent for just making stuff up and incredible strawmanning. Oh my God, if I say it, I just read it like him. Ironically, the people who do this are much more likely to dog whistle than the people they're criticizing. You're doing it. You're doing the pitfall. You're doing the pitfall. You're saying you're saying one of the worst intellectual pitfalls people fall into is saying other people are using dog whistles. Which you're saying that happens, right? And then you just in the same paragraph accuse other people that don't probably ostensibly agree with you with being the people that use dog whistles the most, which presumably you're seeing them do. So are you in the pit? Are you in the pitfall? Does that not equate? This is there are depths of psychosis occurring in here. You really have to pause every second. If you just listen to, I want to talk to you. It's not going to be me just being mean. Unironically, if you're popping through here and you're a massive Whatifalthist fan, you're really into it. I kind of want to talk to you I want to hear what your voice sounds like. And I want to hear how you approach concepts in words, because this is so fascinating how bad at writing he is. Because he's reading this off a script, I assume, because he's typing out some of it, that he's putting these like cracked out addendums. This is a person that is possibly schizophrenic, first off. Or at least suffering from some sort of delirium disorder. You know what I mean? Like very scattered. This sounds like the way that like a homeless guy who's unmedicated sounds when he's walking down the street yelling at and carrying on multiple conversations at the same time. This is a brain that is fucking on fire. Because he's including this. He's talking. I'm not just reading it. It's not like it's just a statement. He's talking over this.
Breath. Think about what I'm actually saying, not what it seems like I'm saying, and whether or not it's true. Whenever anyone brings up this topic, they get immediately called an very quickly lose their ability to be objective. I believe this is true, as mating is probably the most important thing in human life. Thus, we get very wrapped up in it. You will probably have a lot of emotions watching this video, and that's normal. But you need to take a deep breath, think about what I'm actually saying, not what it seems like I'm saying, and whether or not it's true. Whenever anyone brings up this topic...
Okay, so you need to take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. And focus on what I'm saying, not like what it seems I'm saying, is a crazy that is a crazy statement. That is actually, you know who's at fault for that in the right is fucking Jordan Peterson. That statement presumes, first off, a thing that you can never assume as an interlocutor, that the other person is just going to perfectly understand what you're saying. What that statement, you need to think about what I'm actually saying as opposed to what you think I'm saying, right? Says, I want you to take me at my word at all times. You have to take me, to be a serious interlocutor, you have to only ever take me at my word at all times and never try to understand what I'm saying in a deeper context. Or go with, or assume even that your first interpretation of what I'm saying is like, you can't go past your first interpretation, like, because your second interpretation would be wrong as well, because that would also be included under the umbrella of thinking deeper about it or trying to understand what he's saying. That is the stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard when it comes to communications. That is dumb. That is, like, Whatifalthist is a fucking moron for that. That's actually like an unironically, argue with me on that. That's what, timestamp this and prove me wrong. Is that is one of the stupidest things that you can ask of somebody. Stop trying to understand what I'm saying and just listen. Is first off, proto-fascism. That's just like, that's one of the hallmarks of fascism. Stop thinking, just do. And that is just that's smooth brain shit. That's like, you should also be smooth brain. Basically, like, if you don't understand what I'm saying, it's probably because you're too fucking smart. But like, he can't articulate it that way because that would mean he was stupid. But that is what stupid people are saying. Like, stop picking apart the stupid shit that I'm saying because you're smarter than me. It makes me feel bad. Like, that's where Whatifalthist is hung up. I'm never going to get to the incel revolution part. I've just got to skip ahead because your fundamental premise, at this point, we're done. The video's over. There's no video to watch. I mean, this is the same thing as last time. The fundamental establishment premises of your theses, which are convoluted and snake-like in their inability to fucking go in a single direction, they just fundamentally undermined the possibility of anything that follows this having any sort of logical conclusion or construction. Like, you're not even presenting yourself as a serious fucking interlocutor. You're not presenting yourself as a person that could be understood or could make sense. Because I'm already 2 seconds in here, and you cannot construct a fundamental thesis. And one of the aspects of one of the inherent necessities you have described of understanding the argument you're about to present is that people cannot look deeper into what you're saying than what you say. They have to just take you at face value and never look deeper than that, which it defeats the purpose of, like, all conversation. Because you have scrubbed out metaphor, simile, innuendo, historical reference. You are just saying that literally just absorb the most surface level, which by the way, suggests the possibility of a uniform and universal surface level of conversation with which anything can be understood, which is fundamentally impossible, and which you can't even achieve because you're not even a good enough writer for me to even be able to have delivered singular interpretations of what you're saying, because you're just scattered and all over the place, and you're bad at grammar and spelling and writing and construction and style and quite literally everything that one would be graded on, handing in like English 1, Composition 1, freshman comp papers. I don't think you could write a fucking single 5-page paper on any subject and get a passing grade. I earnestly don't believe that would be possible for you. I don't think it's a thing you could do. I'm a little fucked up. Like, this is crazy. His entire argument basically boils down to, in my interpretation of it, I'm literally too stupid to make sense. And so you just have to presumptively assume that I make sense in order to understand my arguments. That's all you're saying. You wrapped it up in additional words and phrases, but like literally that's all we're left with. And you're not I'm not fucking around here either. I'm not Vosh. You know, I'm not Hassan, like I'm a little freaked out by some words. I'm good at writing. I'm unfathomably to somebody like you good at writing. It's like literally one of my skills that I am proud as fuck of. Like, I'm a Kobe Bryant as far as fucking the old word fucking craft goes. Watch my streams if you don't believe me. And I have to say, from an expert opinion, I think you might be legitimately developmentally disabled. And in such a unique way that maybe you should be studied, because I think you're so stupid and so unable to grasp reality that incidental exposure to modicum amounts of fame and success have put a permanent split inside of your already fevered and pustulized, lichened, rotting fucking brain, and made it worse. Like, literally, most dumb people will be able to just kind of walk off being stupid and just kind of get away with it because they still look and act like normal human beings. And as long as they shut the fuck up, they're fine. It goes back to the old Mark Twain thing. Shut the fuck up, dumbass. In your case, I think you actually may have made yourself stupider by people trying to have, like, people asking you for more content that, like, requires you to think. And so your inability to think your way through things that you see and say, and like your general deep, unabiding stupidity has actually created like a fissure point that is making you dumber. Like, you might actually be a stupider person than you were when you started out. Like, it's the antithesis of a smart person gaining knowledge, like kind of like, you know, when you roll up like knowledge like a snowball going down a hill, you're the opposite. Like, you're an intellectual fruit roll up. You just got unwound and now there's just less of you. And that's crazy to me. It's like fascinating. It's cool that you are considered human. Like, it's like that we're the same species is a startling revelation. Like, I couldn't believe, like, I want to talk to you. Like, I won't even, like, we don't have to argue about anything. I just want to like test your ability to have a conversation with like an actual person, like a real human being, like me. Like, and see if you can actually just like hang as an equal. Like if I said words, would you understand them? And like, if I made a joke, would you be able to even like pull that out of the ether? It's crazy. Like, I hope you don't make any, I hope he doesn't make any videos about like whether or not people should have to take an intelligence test before voting, because my man, my dude, my fucking, my son of Christ, holy shit, man. That's gnarly. I would sooner believe Whatifalthist was just Chat GPT or something, but like a broken, somehow shittier version of it, before I really thought you were like a real human being and this was like internal parts of you that you held on to. Because like, it just makes me think less of you. Like, unironically, if I had to choose between you and like an actual macrocephalic infant that had no chance of living more than 5 minutes, and like it was a plane crash, I would give the infant that couldn't put on the parachute, I would give it the parachute. Mostly just because it would be funny when I got down to the ground to tell people what I did. I might carry the baby, but like, you're so dumb it beggars the imagination to kind of arrive at how fucking stupid you are. Like, it's really a test to me, and I like it. Like, this is more fun. You don't have ideas. You don't even have real thoughts. It's like neat. Like, you're the misfiring meat that makes me, but somehow broken in a novel way that makes you seem like you're talking when you're not. You're like one of those pictures that's not always a picture unless you uncross your eyes and then it turns into like a schooner. Reference, Mallrats. But not all the time, but just generally like you're gibberish and you have to kind of like unfocus your eyes to kind of pull out like a modicum of an image. It's fascinating. It's like an actual intellectual exercise to try to get down to the bottom of you. And like, thank you for that. I didn't really pay attention to your last one because I was like sleep deprived and going crazy. But just like 5.5 minutes of this is all I need. Like, there's no way you're going to say something that's like profound. I mean, I'll skip ahead here in a second. Let me just pop forward, but it's crazy. You know what I mean? To like actually be, this is, so like, I always think like some point, cause you know, you have like deviations in the evolution of a species, right? And so like at some point there were like primitive man and like primitive man's like other offshoot, which was like some sort of ape creature that kind of like looked and seemed human, you know, and it could put on a pastiche of pre-humanity, but the more advanced version was looking at it like, what in the fuck? There, but for the grace of God go I. And I think, like, I'm literally witnessing, like, in you and in probably the people that, like, listen to your thing, like, your audience and whoever you proselytize to, I am seeing the evolutionary dead end. Like, that it's a part of inceldom is perfect. It makes so much sense. It should be involuntary. I don't think it's going to be a revolution, whatever your argument is. I think it's just going to be a slow death of, like, unbreedables. Because, like, could you imagine? I don't know, if you have a kid, God fucking save them. But like you trying, like, the thought of you trying to teach a child to read is psychotic to me. Like, I would like to just hear you in your weird, like, almost mimicking human voice try to read, like, run, spot, run, see, spot, see. Like, just hearing you mispronounce and stumble over those words would be kind of like a fun, grotesque deviation from my otherwise much more important life. It is insane that you get paid for this. I don't know what you spend the money on. Can you even read the numbers that are on the notes? Like when you go into a store, do you understand the numbers that you see underneath the products? Or like when you get to like the checkout counter or like the thing, I bet you just order everything online. But like when you talk to a checkout person, does it like freak you out? Are you like stunned into silence for moments before you just kind of like screech like a half-formed ape and pitch money in their general direction before like pissing your pants and sprinting through the door? Ding, 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 ding. I can't even imagine. It's just to live such a diminished and like worthless life would be insane to me. Like that you can't understand like the beauty of the things that are around you, because there's no way you can. Like, there's no way you could never read a book the way that I can. And that freaks me out. Like, it's cool and neat and also like disturbing, like watching like a train wreck. Like, if you read like Vladimir Nabokov's like Lolita, it's like, and there's deeper themes and shit, like I don't think you could parse them. Like, it would just be words to you. And if it's something any deeper than like the adventurer, you know, the adventurer cycle, the hero cycle, whatever, that is in most like fantasy novels, like it's so beyond you. And even most of that probably is. Like you just can't even, like, if you look at a painting, you just can't understand like the beauty and the heart in it. It's just images. Like, you're just like a fucking broken machine, and that's amazing. And I want to talk to you so bad. I just want to hear you respond to things I say and see if you're as fractured and damaged as I think you are. Because I think you are. I don't know if it's a from birth thing or if you were struck on the head by some large weighted thing and it took a little of your soul with it. But holy fuck, man. God damn. Like, it's just incredible. It's just amazing. Whatifalthist, ladies and gentlemen. What does this say? As a general rule, women want money and attention from men, and men want sex. I haven't even read this yet. And I'm just so correct. This is why women want you to spend money and time with them before you sleep with them, or prefer men of higher social status. It's so neat, like a badly programmed like toy. Like, oh, what a novel aspect of our existence in the year our Lord 2024, that like something like you is just permitted to walk around the rest of us. It's crazy. It is fascinating. Like, they're gonna look back on us and be like, holy shit. Like, this evolutionary curve in humankind in the 20th century or the late or early 21st century, you just had like whatever, it's gonna be like Homo sapiens and then like Homo fucking Homo Whatifalthist, you know what I mean? And they're just like, we're just going to see this divergence, and they were living amongst each other, even interbreeding at the deficit of many of them for a while. It was very good that the women of the time, a lot of them just stopped adding to that evolutionary fucking black hole that was some of these people. Because could you imagine having a child with Whatifalthist? Holy fuck, just carrying that fucking mutant in you, hoping beyond hope that none of his genetics actually fucking took root inside your fucking womb like a cancerous nodule on the inside of most other people's brains, ready to just steal nutrients and thoughts and eventually the life from you. God damn. Just waiting way past the normal threshold for the fucking baby to start talking after it fucking gets squelched from your innards. It's just walking around, not really putting puzzles together, not really making facial expressions back at other people, just like, fuck, bro. It gets to first grade and it's just a disappointment. All of its grades are bad. It gets to be fucking into its teens and you're like, wow, it's just violent and stupid. Fuck, why did I make this thing? If only I had the strength. Unfortunately, because of my age and because of its newfound strength as a pubescent, I can't still drown it as maybe I should have in the days after I saw its fucking like half-formed head squelch forth into the world. Oh no, woe is me. From my sin is here to just walk about on the earth in front of me, and all the while Whatifalthist saying, "Why is a good boy?" in your ear, like in his goofy way of talking. I can't imagine the thought of it, the horror. Like it really, like I shout out any woman in chat whose innards are just being curdled by this. Fuck this display. God damn. Nightclubs are popular with women since they effectively skew the odds as much in their favor as possible. Nightclubs are fucking popular with women because it's got music and booze. Some women just like to dance. She just likes to dance. Men buy drinks for them or tables. This is a log written by somebody who has never gone, which are expensive, which filters for high status men. That is awesome. Nightclubs. They really are nightclubs for him. Normally also have a significant gender imbalance, thus putting odds in women's favor. No, it's because like no one wants to go. Men don't want to go to a nightclub that's full of men. They want to go to a nightclub that's full of women in general, and like that's for the best, because if you go to the place that's full of only guys, it always smells weird, and it's usually extra violent. The vast majority, by the way, I'm speaking as a doorman and a bouncer, by the way. I have touched grass so many times. Most of the time when you're at a club, you don't have to buy girls drinks at all if you're good looking. Like, or if you're just not weird, or if you're funny. You can. Sometimes you can open up, but that is such a rare occurrence. Like, it does happen. There are guys who go to nightclubs and stuff and buy drinks for women, but that is such a bygone era thing. And no one's really like that into it. Like it happens, like it's like there will be nightclubs in your place that are like it'll happen throughout the night at that club, but that's not like the largesse of the people that are there. Most of the people go to a nightclub, look at other people that are at it, don't talk to them, interact only with the people that they came with, and then leave at the end of the night a little shit-faced. You might sometimes dance, but usually the best part about a nightclub, you don't go there alone. You go there to meet other groups of people who usually it's you have a friend, you are in a group of single people, and you have one friend who is dating someone or fucking like in a relationship with someone from another group of people. And the nightclub will provide you both groups that have already kind of been vouched for the ability to intermingle. Those groups might be massive, and you might know a series of other groups. A lot of the times when you see nightclubs, this is a thing that doesn't get really captured in movies. There are crews of people that go from nightclub to nightclub to nightclub and are part of what they call the scene. All right? And there is the scene. And those people all kind of know each other or are aware of each other. So when they're buying drinks for people, it's not like a complete stranger. It's like, I've seen him around being out at bars and shit for months. Not like, so just so you know, if you're a fucking like a loser and you're like, I went to a bar and I bought a woman fucking a $500 bottle of champagne and she didn't talk to me again, that's because you're fucking weird for doing that. And if you saw somebody else do it that night, it's probably because they're established in the scene and it's cool for them to do it. Shoot and Run Films. Hey, thanks for the $10, man. I stopped by to see if Whatifalthist still does not understand what Civil War / Revolution is, but you always bring so much more to the table. Your monologue was beautiful. Thank you. I don't know. We're here. It's 45 minutes. I don't know where the Revolution content is, or if it is even in there. But like, goddamn. Also, the music is so loud that women don't actually have to talk to guys. The point of the music being loud is not so that people don't have to talk to you. It's so that when you talk to someone, you get this close to their ears and you're like, hey, I really like you. Do you want to go over and talk somewhere else for a second? And then she can go dance away or say yes. The noise actually covers up most general like conversation, so you can talk to people really at almost any volume, and it actually makes the night extremely intimate. That's actually the point of the loud music. If you guys didn't know that, that's the point of all music actually in public places, is to dampen the sound of other people. If you didn't have, if you have never been in like a Walmart or a Kroger where they're not playing fucking like doodly doo fucking elevator music and like the hits, it is horrifying. It is one of the most unsettling experiences ever, because you're walking around aisles, right? You're making a lot of noise that's clicking off the walls and shit, and you can hear other people in other aisles over. Try it sometime. You know what I mean? Just like literally, if you work at one of those stores, just turn the music off for a little bit and start walking around, and you can hear people on the other side of the store, completely on the other side of the store, walking, and it will set off every fucking aspect that is like inside of your prey drive. You'll just be like, what in the fuck? It's very unsettling. Also, the music is so loud, it's such a sensory overload that you can't really enforce social expectations like, I bought you a drink, so talk to me. That is not a social expectation. You're a fucking weirdo. Well, I already told you. You're like a little mutant monkey person that's not like a real actual human being. But like, I still love you. I still love you. You deserve all of your rights. You can still have the vote. I will not take suffrage from you, little ape man. That is not a real social expectation. The social expectation of you buying somebody something is that they're going to take it and then they're going to leave. You're gifting. It's a gift. I feel like that has to be hammered home. If you can't buy a drink and then ignore the cost of that drink, that's not a flex. Buying the drink is giving someone random stranger a gift. They choose to talk to you or not. It doesn't matter what you bought them. It doesn't matter the cost. They choose to talk to you. That's the social contract. You don't have anything to say in response to that. That's the social contract. I'm telling you this because everyone has to hear that, because I worked in bars, and the guys that are like you, I had to choke fucking unconscious and throw out onto the sidewalk. Sometimes after giving a solid drubbing to, I did beat the ever living fuck out of some fucking guys in bars. You have no idea. If I ever make enough money, I guarantee you at least there's going to be one like late lawsuit like, my eye hasn't worked the right way since Tyler beat the ever-living shit out of me in front of that bar fucking 25 years ago. And I'll be like, I did, but I don't think the eye is my fault, my friend. Me 25 years ago. Not even angry, just please fall asleep. I'm done hitting you. This is I'm tired. Can you just go to sleep? Being mad at myself because I'm like, where the fuck did my goddamn arm strength go? Or I was flirting with this guy, but I don't like him anymore, so I'll leave abruptly. What? I was flirting with this guy, but I don't like him anymore, so I'll leave abruptly. Don't tell on yourself like that. Oh my god, bro, pussy just might not be for you. This is why you should support the sex industry, because the only like routine ass you're gonna get is the kind that you gotta pay for, and that's fine. Like that just might be your thing. You gotta go get loving from a pro, because any amateur is not gonna be able to deal with whatever the fuck made you think it was okay to type that shit out. No girl has ever liked a person and then just abruptly walked away from them. I'm just telling you that right now. Well, maybe in some certain like really interesting romantic circumstances because they're bashful and weird or something. If she just walked away from you, she didn't like you. She just didn't like you. She also probably thought you were fucking weird, man. She probably thought you were a fucking freak, bro. Like, women and most people that don't have whatever developmental maladies that you are obviously fucking afflicted with will smile and be polite, at least in American society, as just a measure of like politeness. Like literally, it's just an act of social nicety in order to smooth conversations, because just being naturally reacted to in a negative way is kind of off-putting. If you are abusing the social contract by assuming that someone likes you because they're being polite and smiling, and women tend to be more polite and smiley because fucking weirdos like you like to stab them to death in alleys because you feel jilted. If you are breaking the social contract to the point where she just had to go bloop and vanish, that's on you, my friend. This is literally like the most creepy, entitled, like shitheel stuff. Like it's unironically, like, it's good that people like you are being bred out of existence, or at least just not even bred out of existence, just talked out of existence. If there's some war that has to be fought to eliminate, just to terminate everybody that feels the way that you feel about dating and women, I'm fine with it. Make my video the incel holocaust. Like, I'm fucking down with that, because unironically, I don't know what you bring to the table. You should probably just fucking cease to exist. Like I said, I had to beat the fuck out of guys like you at bars that would get really weird and grabby with women, because women would talk. They would, oh, hi. Yeah. Oh, no. Thanks for the drink. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I do come here a lot. Okay. I'm gonna get it. And just like they leave, and a guy like grabs onto him or is like, hey, I was talking to you. I bought a drink for that bitch. And it's like, all right, hey man, you got to go. You have a little conversation. The guy never wants to leave. And then it's choke slams and fucking, torqued up arms and getting choked unconscious with your own fucking necktie for like 2 or 3 seconds, and before I drag your carcass out onto the sidewalk. I fuck dudes like you up all the time. And like, unironically, if you are enforcing this kind of behavior, you are going to get dudes' asses rightfully fucking beat at bars. And it's not going to be always a bouncer who's going to like actively try to endeavor to make sure you survive the event. There are women that you won't realize are dating guys. People have bought my wife a drink before while I'm out. It's cool. I don't give a fuck. Like, cause it's fine. You know what I mean? And other girls that I've dated, cause they're my girl. Like, they're not gonna fucking, they're not like an animal. Like, I guess you are basically in your fucking mind, where like a treat is offered to them and then they go. Like, it's not like my dog. My dog, if somebody offers him a treat, he might actually go home with them because he's a fucking idiot. He's an animal. He's literally a dog. I love him to death, but his loyalties are not, they're not like highly intellectual and deep as the ones between me and my wife. You know what I'm saying? I know guys that have had girls, like some dude buys them a drink and they're like, that guy bought me a drink. It's like, okay, cool. He wants to talk to me. Okay, you can talk to him, but like, whatever. Let me know if he's weird. And to go, I have a boyfriend, whatever, blah, 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 like, thanks for the drink and stuff. Like, oh, yeah, well, but, like, do you want to get out here with me? Because, like, I bought you a drink, and, like, you're kind of, like, laughing and smiling. It's like, yeah, I'm laughing and smiling because, like, I'm trying to be nice because you gave me a gift that, I don't know if you understand. You gave me a gift. I'm not a $20 drink hooker. I'm not going to go suck your dick in a strange hotel room because you bought me a Mai Tai. Just so you understand, like, I didn't know you didn't know that kind of thing. Because there are guys that will buy drinks for girls. I have done it. I have bought a drink for a girl before I even met my wife. And like, she was with somebody and I didn't realize it. And we had like a funny, like laughy conversation. And like, I was like, hey man, you're a lucky guy. Thanks. And it's like, all right, cool. And it just ends because I'm a normal person and like, I'm affable. So like, with a lot of other people, they'll just joke about it. Like, okay, hey, what's no harm. Yeah, it's all right. But if I would just been like, hey, do you want to fucking like sneak out of here or something? Like, fuck that guy. Like, come fuck with me. That will fuck the vibe up, right? And in certain situations, if you think make guys think that this is okay to do, sometimes the dude that's with the chick will be like, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? And sometimes the guy will be like, hey, what fucking, I don't know if you know this, but your intestines can come out of the skin in your stomach. Shut. Or you fucking get blown down in a fucking alley with a high point for being a dumbass. And like, you kind of have it coming because of what you're doing. Sometimes girls will just be like, they'll walk up to a group of aggressive looking dudes. This has happened to me, and be like, can you help me? That guy back there is being weird. And like the guys will be like, all right, yeah, like, hey dude, just fucking leave this lady alone. She doesn't want to talk to you. And you'll hear every fucking excuse. Sometimes maybe it's real. Oh, that's my girlfriend, dude. Like, fucking get away. I'm like, I don't give a shit. A girl just asked me for my help. Like, unironically, I might get laid tonight, if not from her, but by just some other lady that thinks that it's impressive that I'm looking out for them. So just fuck off. There's 4 of us and 1 of you. We will start punching you in the fucking head. You know what I mean? Like you're setting up yourself to be that fucking guy, even in a relationship, to be that fucking guy. And like, if you get fucking crisped, you fucking deserve it, man. That is the most psychotic fucking worm conduct I have ever seen. That is a weird virtue signal. My virtue is creeping women out. Weird fucking thing to say, man. It also maximizes the amount of attention a woman can get per minute. What is that? You would be stunned to find out that most women value privacy. You would be stunned to find out that most women value like a degree of privacy. Are you like counting the minutes? Dude, this is mental disease. This is disease. I can't even feel like, I can't feel even a sense of empathy towards you for like maybe some sort of like spectrum disorder you might have when you're articulating yourself like this. Because I know so many people that are on the spectrum and even have like interpersonal communication difficulties that don't fucking think that this is okay, because even they can read a few other books written by not guys wearing peacock feathers and find out that women are like, actually, I like being left alone. I quite enjoy my solitude. And I feel like I've been dragged out to the club by my friends. They're just human. If you just see a woman as a human being instead of a series of statistics before you talk to her, you will actually be able to talk to a woman instead of your idea of a woman that you jerked off to 3 times in the taxi on the way over, you crispy pantsed fucking weirdo. God damn. Dude, when Whatifalthist grows up, he's going to be so ashamed of his videos. This might be the max amount, dude. Max Josie. Yes. I always try to keep my attention per minute counter to a hot 0. Yeah. Like, there's women out there who are just standing here and they see like 15 guys like staring at them like the clown from It when he's getting ready to rip that boy's arm off. They're like, fuck, this is it for me. Whoa, what a day. Oh, this is why I like clubs, and thus this is why I like clubs. What? Women like clubs, and thus why men go to clubs, and thus why they're popular. Bro, I would just end it. Check out. It's checkout time. Hold on. Hey, is that Emily Ratajkowski? This is an AI Emily Ratajkowski.
To change psychology and attitudes towards sex in a profound realize how precarious their liberties are, in that for most of history, men have treated women as property. A lot of people on the right have said that men haven't oppressed women over history. And I do think gender roles are driven off biology, but I can't write off female genital. We overreact when our emotions feel hurt, and one of...
Skipping to a section of the video that is him saying we overreact when our emotions are hurt, and I'm looking at that literal painting of a man who's holding his brain damaged and dying son and having like possibly going through the worst series of emotions maybe most humans can experience on this earth is crazy. The Don't Tell Mom painting. Yes, this is a great Meat Canyon segment, by the way, too. Holy fuck. Go to 5 minutes and 45 seconds in the video, bro. Trust me, only because you're a mom. Oh no, why is his face there? I'll just let it. I'll let it glide
talk about this topic. You people know nothing about my personal life, and if you did, you would realize it's absolutely insane to say this about me. People use this photo of me from high school to mock me, but I also used to look like this when I was in better shape, and now I look like this. Well, I've been on.
It's the same picture. It's the same picture. What are you bragging about this? What in the fuck? Wait, he looks like a McPoyle. This is a McPoyle. This is a lost McPoyle. Is it not? This is a man who's just like, I was just getting a shower with my brother. He's still very wet.
Me, but I also used.
What is this? Is this AI? What is going on with these legs? What is happening here? Hold up. Hold the fuck. What? Is that? Is he? What? I need to save these. Maybe I was. What? Did he do? Did he make an AI picture of himself and not realize the legs are going the wrong way? Am I high? Am I on the stuff, mate? Or has he got extra leggy legs? And really long arms? What? Why did you... This is a real picture. Why did you post this? What is he saying again?
To say this about me. People use this photo of me from high school to mock me, but I also used to look like this when I was in better shape, and now I look like...
This is the same picture and the same fucking dead-eyed expression of the serial killer, but without the glasses on.
This. Well, I've been on keto for over a month to get into better. Also used to look like this.
Also,
when I was in...
did he say Elon Musk? Because this is like Elon Musk, hot Elon Musk mix.
Better shape, and now I look like this. Well, I've been on keto for over a month to get into better shape now.
Shout out fucking maintaining that unibrow, bro.
This when I was in better shape, and now I look like this. Well, I've been on keto for over a month to get...
This is a terrible picture. This is unironically a worst picture. I'm gonna save this, by the way, too. I'm gonna go ahead and take this because I need to make my thumbnails, as Vosh said, as Voosh Video has said. I am a grifter, and I need to make my thumbs. I need to make my thumbs. I don't know what it is about this. Is it just the naturally occurring shadow line of the unibrow, or the pinkishness of his flesh? He looks like a like a washed up 80s rock star getting ready to go on stage, and this is an Instagram post about how divorce really fucks families up. The hair is rough and greasy. Why is your shirt folded up? And why do you have the neck beard going this hard? I think he just likes his own lips. This is, you know who has a lot of photos like this? And I hate to use this card. I wasn't really feeling myself, and kind of every day was painful. This is what I used to look like before I transitioned, is the photo. This is one of the most, this is what I looked like before I transitioned photos of a legitimately nightmarishly hot 9 out of 10 trans woman. You know? Am I wrong? Because there's a lot of attention to the lips going on here. Either we have similar skin tone, all right? You know, I'm not tan right now, but my lips are a normal is this a little gloss? Is this a little touch up? You know what I mean, honey. Are you having a lot of trouble talking to women because you don't want to be talking to them? Maybe the vibe is in a different direction? Possibly. I don't know.
Get in better shape now. There is a barrier between YouTubers and their audience for obvious reasons, which means you guys really know very little about me. I know me doing this here is incredibly petty, but the thing is I'm responding to something even more petty, and I need to debunk this line of argument since otherwise it will clog up the entire discourse around this video. If you're a decent person watching this, I apologize. A lot of people think I'm some nerd dwelling in
Okay, they're confirmed. Rudyard Lynch moved to Texas from Pennsylvania. I'm not gonna lie. Finding out that Whatifalthist's last name is Lynch is not crazy to me. The Dunning-Kruger suggests that you even have a modicum of train or education, like a hobbyist's interest in a discipline, and so it's fallen apart after the fact. You know what I mean? You learned a little bit and now you feel like an expert, but you don't know how much you don't know yet. But with him, it's just something completely different. I think my man might legitimately be an actual subwit sociopath. He's just literally too stupid for human emotion or knowing things. and just kind of happened to coincide with like when being that kind of dumbass would make you a bunch of money on the right-wing grift. Fascinating. More than likely he's just repeating shit he hears on the internet. I mean, obviously, but like, god damn.
Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe.
Cheeks. Show him how tall you can get. Go.